Hi, today I will share with you my story. I want you to witness with your own ears the story that my weary body and tired eyes have witnessed for many years. So listen, and I need you to truly understand this. For the past 12 years, I've been observing through a window, through glass, through a barrier I could never cross. I've seen them have dinner, I've seen them celebrate birthdays, I've seen them comfort each other when they were sad. I've seen them doze off on the couch while watching movies. I've witnessed their whole lives from the outside. You see, I'm not a house dog, I never was. I'm a yard dog. That's what they call it. But what that really means is I'm close enough to see everything, but never close enough to be part of anything. There's a glass door between us, just one door, 6 feet away from their living room, but it might as well be 1,000 miles. My name is Rocky. I'm 12 years old, a Rottweiler, and I haven't been inside their house in 10 years. Not once. I stay in the backyard. I have been here since I was 2. There's a doghouse. It's made of wood with a red roof. They built it themselves when they brought me home. They are proud of it and took pictures. There's a chain. It's 20 feet long and heavy. It's attached to a metal stake in the ground. 20 feet. That's my entire world. I can reach the fence on the left, the fence on the right, and the back fence if I stretch, but I can't reach the house. The chain keeps me 3 feet away from the back porch. 3 feet. Close enough to see them through the glass door. Close enough to hear their laughter inside. Not close enough to touch. I've worn a path in the grass. It's 20 feet in diameter, a perfect circle of dirt, where my paws have walked the same route countless times, around and around and around, because there's nothing else to do. They feed me every morning at 6 a.m. The back door opens, a bowl is placed on the porch, and then the door closes. I eat alone. They water me every evening at 6 p.m. The same routine. Bowl filled. Door closed. I drink alone. And the rest of the time, I watch through the glass. I wasn't always out here. For the first 2 years, I stayed indoors. I was part of the family. I was just a puppy when they brought me home. 8 weeks old. In 2012, they wanted a protector, a guard dog. Rottweilers are known for that. But I was still a puppy, clumsy and playful, just like any other. I slept in the living room for those first 2 years, on a dog bed next to the couch. Not on the couch, never on the couch, but close to it. I was trained with commands: sit, stay, guard. Guarding was my duty, to protect the house, to protect the family. I took it very seriously. When I turned 2, they welcomed their first child, a son named Jacob. That's when everything changed. Rocky's getting too big for inside, the father said. He might knock the baby over. He sheds everywhere. It's too much to handle, so they put me outside. Just for now, the mother said. Until Jacob is a bit older. Until we establish a routine. Just temporary. That was 10 years ago. Jacob is now 12, and I'm still outside. Every morning I wake up before they do. 5 a.m. It's still dark. I'm awake. I observe the house, waiting for the lights to turn on. At 6 a.m., the kitchen light flickers on. She's making coffee. I can see her through the window, moving around the kitchen, pouring water, pressing buttons on the coffee maker. She never looks outside. At 6:15, he comes downstairs and pours himself coffee. They talk, but I can't hear the words, just muffled sounds through the glass. They're only a foot away from me. They never look out. At 6:30, the kids come down. Jacob first, then a few years later, Emma. She's 8 now. Jacob makes cereal while Emma asks for toast. They sit at the kitchen table, right there, in front of the glass door. Jacob's back is to me, but Emma faces me. Sometimes she notices me and gives a small quick wave before returning to her toast. That's the only acknowledgement I receive. At 7 a.m., they leave for school and work. The house falls silent, and I'm alone. For the next 8 hours, I watch the empty house. I see the shadows move across the living room as the sun shifts. I watch the curtains blow when the air conditioning turns on. I watch nothing, because there's nothing else to do. At 3 p.m., they start coming home. Emma is first. The school bus drops her off, and she runs inside, her backpack flying, the door slamming. I don't hear it, just see the vibration. She goes to her room, presumably to do homework. I can't see her room from here. At 4 p.m., Jacob comes home from high school. He has friends now, and sometimes they come over. They hang out in the living room, playing video games, laughing, shouting at the TV. I watch. At 5 p.m., the parents return from work. They're tired and stressed. They drop their bags and collapse on the couch. I see him loosen his tie and her kick off her heels. They're only 10 feet away. They don't look out. At 6 p.m., it's dinner time. This is the hardest part. They all sit at the table together, talking, passing dishes, laughing at something Jacob said. I watch. I watch them be a family, and I realize I'm not part of it. I am the dog in the yard, the security system, the one that barks when someone passes by the fence. But I am not part of the family. After dinner, they head to the living room, TV, movie nights, sometimes board games. I observe through the glass. Jacob is sprawled on the floor. Emma sits on the couch beside her mom. The father is in his recliner. All of them together. All of them inside. At 10 p.m., the lights begin to turn off. They are going to bed, and I remain here, in the dark, all alone. Summer is harsh. The summer in Texas is intense. The heat reaches 100 degrees. The sun shines down on my black fur. There's no shade available. Well, there's the doghouse, but it's small and wooden. It traps heat like an oven, so I lie in the dirt, panting with my tongue out, searching for a cool spot. But there isn't one. I watch them inside through the glass. I see the air conditioning vent blowing and the curtains fluttering from the cold air. I see Jacob walking by in shorts and a t-shirt, sipping a cold glass of lemonade. I'm just 15 feet away, suffering from the heat. My water bowl is hot, and the metal burns my tongue. The water inside is warm, almost boiling by noon. I drink it anyway, because there's nothing else. Sometimes she refills it in the middle of the day. She opens the door and pours fresh water. She doesn't say anything, just closes the door behind her. The fresh water stays cool for about 10 minutes. Then it's hot again. Winter is even worse. I never thought anything could be worse than summer. But winter is pure suffering. It gets cold here. Not snow, but freezing rain and ice. Nights drop to 30 degrees. I have fur, thick fur, a Rottweiler double coat. But it's not enough. The cold seeps into my bones and joints. I'm 12 years old now, and have arthritis. The cold makes it worse. I curl up in the doghouse, trying to stay warm, but the wood is thin, and the wind cuts through the cracks. I shiver all night, every night. Through the glass door I see the fireplace. They're sitting in front of it, warm, with blankets and hot chocolate. Jacob is reading, Emma is coloring, and the parents are on their phones. They're warm. I'm shivering. One Christmas Eve, it dropped to 25 degrees. Freezing rain and ice formed on my I could see them through the window. The Christmas tree lit up, presents underneath, and the fire roaring. They were laughing, opening gifts, and taking pictures. I was outside, shaking, curled up as tightly as I could, trying to keep warm. Nobody checked on me. Not one. The following morning, Christmas morning, she brought my meal outside, noticed me shaking. "Oh, Rocky, you're chilly." She went back inside, returned with a worn blanket, torn, dirty, had a garage smell. She laid it over the entrance of the doghouse. "There, this should assist." It didn't, but I valued the thought. It was the only kindness I received. The worst part isn't the heat. It isn't the cold. It's the loneliness. I haven't felt a touch in 3 years. No petting. No scratch behind the ears. No pat on the head. Nothing at all. The last time I was touched was when the vet came, 3 years ago, for a rabies shot. He reached over the fence, gave me the shot. It was rough, quick, painful. That was the end of it. Before that, I can't recall. I watch them touch each other all the time, through the glass. I see the mother hug Emma when she's upset. I see the father ruffle Jacob's hair when he's proud. I see them hold hands on the couch while watching movies. I see touch, affection, connection, and I long for it. Sometimes Emma comes close to the glass. She presses her hand against it. I press my nose to the other side. There's just a 1/4 inch of glass between us, but it feels like a wall. She smiles, waves, then runs away, and I'm alone once more. I sometimes dream about it. Being petted, having someone sit beside me, running their fingers through my fur, scratching that spot behind my ear that I can never reach, telling me I'm a good boy, but it's only a dream, because out here I'm not a good boy. I'm a guard dog, and guard dogs don't receive affection. They have a job. I don't believe they think about me anymore. I'm just part of the background, like the fence, like the trees, like the air conditioning unit that hums all summer long. I'm simply there. They pass by the glass door 100 times a day. They never glance outside. Not at me. Not at the yard. Not at anything. I'm invisible. There was a day, 2 years ago, when they had a birthday party. Jacob's 10th. Friends came over. Kids everywhere. Balloons. Cake. Presents. I watched through the glass. They were playing games. Laughing. Running around inside. One kid, maybe 7 years old, spotted me through the window. "You have a dog." Jacob looked over, as if he had forgotten I was there. "Oh, yeah, that's Rocky. He's a yard dog. Can we play with him?" "Nah, he's outside." And that was it. They returned to the party, and I went back to being invisible. Last year they got a cat. A cat. An indoor cat. Lives inside. Sleeps on the couch. Eats in the kitchen. Gets petted. Gets attention. I watched them bring it home. Watched them dote on it. Set up a litter box. Buy toys. A scratching post. The cat gets everything. I get a chain. Sometimes the cat sits in the window. Looks out at me. We make eye contact. And I wonder if it realizes how fortunate it is. I still have hope. I know I shouldn't, but I do. Every time that back door opens, my heart races. Maybe today they'll invite me inside. Maybe today I'll finally step over that threshold. Maybe today I'll become part of the family. But it always remains the same. Food bowl. Water bowl. Door shut. I've been hoping for 10 years, and nothing has changed. I'm 12 now. Old for a Rottweiler. My back legs don't function like they used to. My hips ache when I stand. I'm slower. Weak. I don't know how much longer I have left. And I'm coming to terms with, I'm going to die out here, in this yard, on this chain, alone. I'm going to die watching them through glass, never experiencing what it feels like to be inside, to be warm in winter, to be cool in summer, to be touched, to be loved. I'm going to die as a guard dog, not as a family member. Here's what I wish I could say to them. I would have kept them safe from inside. You didn't need to put me out here to earn my loyalty. I was already loyal. I would have protected your family just as strongly from a dog bed in the living room. But you thought I needed to be outside, alone, isolated. You believed that's what guard dogs do. But I'm not just a guard dog. I'm a dog. And dogs require more than just food and water. We need connection, touch, presence. We need to be acknowledged. And I haven't been acknowledged in 10 years. I've been observing you. Every day, every meal, every holiday, every moment. But you've never observed me. You've never noticed me shivering in winter, panting in summer, wearing a path in the dirt from pacing. You've never seen the loneliness, because you've never looked. There's a glass door between us. But the true barrier is indifference. And that's so much harder to overcome. If you currently have a dog in your backyard, whether on a chain, in a pen, or away from your family, go outside, right now. Touch them. Sit with them. Look them in the eye. See them. Because they see you. Every single day. They observe your life through windows, fences, and the barriers you've set up. And they wonder why they aren't included. Dogs are not meant to be alone. They are pack animals, family animals. If you wanted a security system, you should have purchased a camera. But you chose to get a dog. And dogs require more than just a yard and a bowl of food. They need you. So bring them inside. Allow them to be part of your life, before it's too late. Before they perish out there, watching, waiting, hoping, never experiencing what it feels like to belong. If this tale touched your inner side, pass it on. Share it with someone who has a yard dog, someone who needs to listen to this. And if you want to read more stories from those who never had a chance to speak, subscribe, because soon there will be another voice, another witness, another story. Don't miss it, because if they could talk, what would they tell you? Let's think a little bit.